and assists, 7 boards, 5 assists, but also 2 steals and a block on average per game, because when LeBron decides to play defense and blah, 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 and he's a great defensive player. I think LeBron's an all-time great defensive player when he chooses to play defense. He ain't Kawhi Leonard on defense. And then, Stephen A., there's this. Why is it really that guys like you and me, other than over the course of their career, LeBron has more value than Jordan because he's played much longer at a high level. But at their peak, Jordan was better than LeBron. Not only do the numbers say that, but Stephen A. Smith, the real reason is if they're on kind of equal-ish teams and the money's on the line and it's Game 7, even though Jordan didn't go Game 7, and they played 100 times, you and me don't believe LeBron would get MJ even one time with the money on the line. MJ had
but Kawhi Leonard is no MJ?
MJ had that thing in him. I'm not claiming Kawhi is MJ. Doc Rivers is going overboard because that's his guy. But Kawhi doesn't care. Like, you've made the point before, LeBron doesn't like it on the free throw line at the end of games. LeBron's considering things like, it's a lot to live up to.
Kawhi has money from the free throw line now.
Kawhi Leonard doesn't have a pulse. It doesn't change. It's unbelievable. And so if it's close and they've played head-to-head one time in a high-profile game and Kawhi's team won, by the way, doing all this without Paul George. You bring up the fact 5-1, 5-2. They lost to Utah. They lost to Phoenix. The Lakers only have the one loss to the Clippers. LeBron has had the services of Anthony Davis the entire season.
You're looking at
who's also an MVP caliber
You're
player.
Looking at everything, and I get that, and I also have to take into account Paul George ultimately coming back, because we keep forgetting Paul George is a star, and Paul George is a monster himself, and he's going to elevate the Clippers. But I would like to add this. I'm telling you right now, the way LeBron is looking right now and the way he's talking, I like it because I see a man that's saying, all right, y'all, I'm back. And by the way, I'm healthy. Let me put a stop to all of this, which is what I wanted him to do opening night. He didn't do it, but he's doing it now. I believe it will continue. I believe that the Lakers are going to win the chip. That's what I believe.
Long as when Kawhi checks in, we don't see from LeBron. Oh, man.
That's right.
And that was before Kawhi knew what he was doing.
It better not happen. Because when it comes to the Lakers and Clippers, I know what the Clippers are, and I know they're a better team collectively. They're a better team.
Max, you think LeBron's been the most impressive Laker, right?
You should be able to overcome LeBron and AD. That's why I got my eyes on this. This is what it's going to come down to.
LeBron has played out of his mind great. The fact that he's in year 17 doing this
he's phenomenal.
Is so far beyond anything we've ever seen from an athlete this advanced in their career in any sport, because no one in their 17th year ever came close to this in basketball. No one. It's amazing. AD has played, you could make an argument he's the MVP. Danny Green has been great. I love me some Danny Green. Dwight Howard is the one that surprised me the most and impressed me the most based on where we perceived he was in his career versus how he has played.
He shot perfect in 2 games this season. 8 for 8 from the field in one game they won, 7 of 7 from the field in another. Other than that, he didn't do much offensively. Every other game, he's been limited to 3 shots or less. Maybe it might behoove the Lakers to get him the ball a little bit more.
But now
LeBron is better than Kawhi. LeBron is better than the Greek Freak. LeBron James is still the best player in the world. Excuse me, hold on, wait a minute. The only evidence you have, Max, is the fact that he wasn't participating in the postseason and they were.
Yeah, but
that's it. That could actually be a benefit. His
exactly. First time in 9 years.
It may be. But when last seen, you have to go, the real LeBron hasn't been seen since the playoffs of the previous season.
Let me ask you this question. Aren't you one of those guys that, for the most part, believes that injury should not take away the mantle? In other words, if you injured and you weren't playing, then let's see what you have when you come back.
It depends. It's a unique circumstance.
What's the unique?
We've never seen a guy this deep into his career still among the best players in the game, ever. LeBron. So if he hasn't been his best self in over a year now.
But the last time we saw this brother in the playoffs, we know what he did. And the last time we saw him during the regular season, when he was playing, the Lakers were the 4th seed in the West, and then he goes down and they collapse.
So did Lonzo go down.
Lonzo, but really,
yes.
In this conversation, we gonna bring up Lonzo. Really,
Lonzo had a tremendously positive effect on that team.
Listen, he had a positive effect, but he wasn't the difference maker. He was a contributor. We get it. Okay. I understand. Come on, man. How are we gonna? I'm sitting there. You got me. I'm mad at you now. You got me sitting here defending LeBron James like this. How can we sit up here and strip him of his supremacy because he got injured?
Let's back up for a second. I want to table Antetokounmpo because that's a legit argument. I want to focus on Kawhi.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard, I thought, when last healthy, if you can't strip a guy when he's injured, before Kawhi got hurt in San Antonio, there were plenty of people, and I was one of them, who thought he was the second best player in the world, not KD. Kawhi, because Kawhi's defense was on its own level, and then suddenly his offense, while not quite as good as LeBron or KD's, was on their level. He was 3rd out of 3 if you want to compare him, but all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, Kawhi has MVP-level offense? To go with that defense, a proven champion. So when he got back from injury, let's see how he played. Regular season, he was an elite player. Playoffs, he was a monster.
LeBron is 34, going 35 years old, if I remember correctly or whatever. He comes back, okay, we understand that the Lakers had their struggles or whatever. I'm talking about 8 straight trips to the final, the way that he balled, how he made others better around him. Numbers didn't dip. And oh, by the way, the old man with LeBron James, who got more hair issues than me, by the way. I just want to state that for the record, okay? He has more hair issues than me. I'm 50. All right, I got an excuse.
Okay.
I don't know about him.
Now
but let me
you're
tell you
poking fun at LeBron.
Of course. Okay, yes, I am. Oh, far be it for me to do that. It's all love, LBJ. It's all love. Here's the deal. Let's look at this. The last few games, Max, since February. Let me just throw this at you. 33, 31, 27, 27, 31, 30, 36, 29, 33, 25, 29, 23,
You agree
27.
that scoring is not the only important thing,
I totally
right?
agree with that.
Oh,
What I'm saying to you is this. All I'm saying is we did not look at LeBron James and see such a precipitous drop-off. What I'm saying is, can we not trust this brother that he's in elite physical condition?
No, this is what I mean about disrespectful. I'll believe it when I see it. LeBron James hasn't been the best version of himself, which he saves for the playoffs, since the playoffs over a year ago.
Right.
Kawhi Leonard,
he don't deserve that.
Just destroyed the Greek freak and everyone else in his way.
From you?
No.
Oh, I forgot. Who I'm listening to. Mr. Cliff with Tom Brady. My bad. You don't respect the greatness that people record, Max.
Who's the best quarterback in football right now?
Patrick Mahomes.
There you go.
You guys are bringing it right now. We're going to
Excuse me, Clay's a 3-time champion. One of the top 2 shooters, arguably, of all time.
You're being disrespectful. On the Warriors, what do you think is going to happen?
Excuse me, what do you think is going to happen?
I think they're going to win.
Excuse me. Well, Clay, hold on.
You're excusing yourself a lot.
Excuse me. You think they're going to win. Clay has already done it.
Look,
3 times.
I'm not even going to get bogged down.
Oh, by the way, can I say this? Can I say this real quick?
Say whatever you want.
If Klay Thompson hadn't gotten hurt in Game 2, we missed Game 3.
Maybe go to Game 7.
I believe the Golden State wins the title.
I don't, but okay.
I believe they win
they win that game, but not the title. All right, look.
All right.
Harden and Westbrook should not be on that list right now. Not only are Embiid and Simmons, they've already shown they came closer than anyone to beating the eventual champions. Game 7.
James Harden was in the Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals a year ago.
With Chris Paul, not with Westbrook.
Excuse me, so you think they're going to be worse with Westbrook?
Not than they would be this year, but than they were 2 years ago? Yes, I do. That's one. So there's Embiid and Simmons. How about this? Because they've already played together and show you what they can do in crunch time. Lillard and McCollum.
Oh, yeah, they were on my list. You know what?
They're in your top 5?
Yup, they've proven they play together. Yes.
Okay.
I will say this. That's a damn good argument.
You forgot about them?
No, I didn't forget about them, but I'm saying I still going to stick to what I believe.
Yeah.
But I have to acknowledge, if I'm making the argument, because I believe in PG, but Clay did it, I believe in Westbrook and Harden, but CJ and Dame did it. So I would give you that. You could make an argument to convince me that CJ and Dame could replace that, but I just think that physically, that's better.
That's right. They're not. McCollum is not quite on the level of all the other guys, right?
I think
so then the question becomes, how does he do under pressure? because Harden and Westbrook
McCollum
have
shows
not
up.
yet come through when they need him the most. McCollum showed himself to be a pressure player.
yes.
So you take Lillard, an elite player, and put him with an all-star who's also a pressure player?
Right. Let me tell you what I hold against Portland. You know how much I love my man Dame. But I'm going to tell you what I hold against Portland. Not only did you lose, but you got swept in the conference finals by a Golden State team without KD. But they had Steph and Clay at number two.
Clay and Draymond. Draymond could be there with Steph, too.
No. When you talk about dynamic duos, as much as I love Dre, I'm just saying, when you talk about dynamic duos, Steph and Clay are a tandem. Steph and Clay are a tandem.
I think Steph and
Clay
Draymond are more of a tandem than anyone. Now, it's true, you need a third guy to space the floor and shoot. Without Clay, it doesn't work as well with Steph and Dre. But you could take other guys who could shoot the three, and Steph and Draymond are the pick and roll.
I'm not taking anything away from Dre. But even Dre would tell you, Steph and Clay are the tandem.
I'm saying
they're the tandem. He's a trio,
Splash
but they're the tandem.
I think when you reduce the Warriors down to their basic component of more than one player, which is Steph Curry, Dre is the number two guy. He allows them to play five out. He's the guy who, along with Steph, revolutionized the modern NBA.
But that's the equivalent of taking Jordan and Pippen and saying Dennis Rodman need to be in there because of his defense and his rebound and what he enabled everybody to do. You can't do that.
Spread pick and roll, which is the modern league, is Steph and Dre.
We got a lot of parity coming up this year. Dynamic duos. It's going to be incredible. Unfortunately, we won't have two of those top 10 players playing majority of next season. Guys,